Please welcome the Congressman from Connecticut's 2nd District, the Honorable Joe Courtney. Representative Courtney serves on the House Education and Workforce Committee and is the chairman of the House Armed Services Subcommittee on Sea Power and Projection Forces.
Thank you and good morning. It's an honor, it's an excitement to be here to join the shipbuilders, Navy leaders, and particularly Secretary Del Toro and my friends from the U.S. House and Senate at this historic milestone for a submarine that since 2013 has been extolled as the #1 priority of the Navy and the Department of Defense. As Kevin said, Keel-Laying is an ancient nautical term whose historic and dictionary definition is, quote, the formal recognition of the start of a ship's construction. Of course, as we've seen and as the Columbia workforce knows, this submarine's construction hardly begins today. In fact, its origins go back 15 years ago when Admiral Cecil Haney raised the alarm at the Pentagon that the Ohio-class submarine fleet was aging out at the same time that our nation's submarine design workforce had dropped to an historic low. Spurred by his warnings, Congress in 2007 plussed up the Navy's budget for the first $8 million in funding to hire new designers for what we now call the Columbia-class program. Since that relatively modest beginning, Columbia now is the largest single shipbuilding program in the Navy's budget. Its production facilities have transformed the skylines of Quonset Point, Groton, and Newport News. The dramatic hiring in southern New England over the last decade has elevated Electric Boat to the position of the #1 private employer in both Connecticut and Rhode Island. With these growing budgets and jobs, Columbia's Navy and shipbuilding partners over the last 15 years have executed meticulous and exhaustive testing to keep this complex enterprise on schedule. Every component has been relentlessly scrubbed to reduce the risk of failure and delay, which our country cannot afford. I have seen firsthand the brilliant land-based propulsion testing in Philadelphia, as well as the first molten metal pour of Columbia's gigantic propeller in August 2020. With all this effort, Columbia's first launch in 2027 should stay on schedule, and DC Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton can join us in Groton to christen it to life. In a sense, today's Keel-Laying does mark, in fact, a start. These modules are now poised to be fitted out for final assembly and seaworthiness. We are at the program's inflection point. To paraphrase Winston Churchill, it's not the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. Congratulations to all for this great achievement and best wishes for future success.